Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Ms. Tiarma Ika Yuliana as lecturer of Computer Assisted Language Learning course, and to everyone who's watching this video. Let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Sirajudin Yakfi. I am fourth semester student at Indraprasta PGRI University, majoring in English education, and I am from R4A class. The purpose of this video is to submit the final assignment given by my lecture, and I will use an app for learning tool to the 5th grade elementary school curriculum. Good morning, my students. How are you today? I hope all of you are doing well. Today, we are going to learn a chapter called My Culinary. In this lesson, we will learn some food and drink vocabulary and try to memorize it. Then, we will learn about quantity or how much food or drink we have, such as a plate of, a bowl of, and a glass of. Finally, we will learn how to make simple sentence using the vocabulary we have learned. Now, these are food vocabulary words that you need to memorize. I will pronounce each word twice. Please listen carefully first, then repeat after me. Ready? First one is rice. Rice. Second one is noodles. Noodles. Next is fried chicken. Fried chicken. Then soup. Soup. Next is bread. Bread. Now, let's continue with pizza. Pizza. Then salad. Salad. And finally, porridge. Porridge. Excellent, everyone. Now, let's move on to the next vocabulary list. Now, let's learn some common drink vocabulary. The first one is water. Water. Second one is milk. Milk. Next is tea. Tea. Then coffee. Coffee. Next is juice. Juice. And finally, soda. Soda. Great! Now that we have learned the food and drink vocabulary, let's move on to quantities. Now, we are going to learn about quantities for food and drinks. Quantities tell us how much food or drink we have. For food, we use a plate of. A plate of. Next is a bowl of. A bowl of. And finally, loaf of. A loaf of. Now, let's learn the quantities for drinks. First one is a glass of. A glass of. Second one is a cup of. A cup of. The third one is a bottle of. A bottle of. And the last one is a can of. A can of. Now that we know the quantities for food and drinks, let's match them with the correct food or drink. Here, we have a matching activity with 6 pairs. Which food or drink match each quantity? Let's do it together. First, we have rice. Rice is solid food, so it's usually served on a plate. Therefore, we say a plate of rice. Second, we have water. Water is usually served in a glass, so we say a glass of water. Third, we have tea. Tea is usually served hot, so we often drink it from a cup. Therefore, we say a cup of tea. Next, we have soup. Since soup is liquid food, is it usually served in a bowl, so we say a bowl of soup. The fifth one is soda. Soda is commonly sold in a can, so we say a can of soda. And finally, we have bread. When we talk about one whole piece of bread, we say a loaf of bread. Great! That's how we match food and drinks with the correct quantities. Now, let's learn how to make simple sentence. To make a sentence, we need at least one subject and one verb. Here's subject: I, you, they, we, he, she, it. And then, for food, we usually use the verb eat. For drinks, we usually use the verb drink. Remember, if the subject is he, she, or it, you must add s to the verb. For example, eats and drinks. Now, let's try to making some sentence together. Alright, there are the patterns based on the subject. And then, there are the sample of the sentence. Let's see and read the sentence together. The first sentence is, I eat fried rice. I as a subject, eat as the verb, and fried rice as the food. Second sentence, you drink milk. You as the subject, drink as the verb, milk as a drink. And then the last sentence, she drinks tea. She as the subject, drinks as the verb. Don't forget to add s after the verb if the subject is she, he, or it. And the tea as the drink. Now, let's make a sentence with quantity expressions. They are the patterns. And then, there are a sentence. The first sentence is, I eat a plate of fried rice. I as a subject, eat as a verb, a plate of as a quantity, fried rice is a food. Second sentence is, you drink a glass of milk. You as a subject, drink as the verb, a glass of as a quantity, and milk as a drink. And the last one is, he drinks a cup of coffee. He as a subject, drinks as the verb, a cup of as the quantity, and coffee is a drink. Alright, here for the exercise. Create 5 sentences using quantity expressions with varied subjects and food or drinks. Here, you need to type your answer and make sentence on the comment section. Remember, type your name and class. Excellent work, everyone! Today, we have learned about food and beverage vocabulary, quantity expressions, and how to make simple sentence using the correct subject and verb. I hope you can use these expressions in your daily conversations. Keep practicing by describing the food and drinks you eat or drink every day using English. Before we finish, please complete the activity provided and submit your answer in the comment section. Thank you for your participation and enthusiasm through today's lesson. That's all for today's class. Have a great day, stay healthy, and see you in the next lesson. Goodbye, everyone. Alright, here are the application I use to make this video. First, I use Canva for the background. I use it for the PPT and to put in the material and picture. And then I use KineMaster to edit this video. I use YouTube to upload the video and submit the answer. And the last one, I use ebook for the material source. Alright, I think that's all the video about my final assignment. I would like to say thank you for your attention. I apologize if there are any mistake from me. Wabillahi taufiq walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.